This is History They Never Tell. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, we dive deep into the hidden, forgotten, and often misunderstood stories that shaped our world, especially the history they want us to forget. Today, we're taking another look at a piece of history that most people think they know, but the real story behind it is vastly different than what you were taught. If you love history, uncovering the truth behind African American history, and learning something new, hit that subscribe button. Share the video to anyone that may be interested in topics like this, and be sure to comment to let me know how you feel about the video. Thank you for being here. Now let's jump right into it. If you ask almost anyone across the globe today how they feel about fried chicken, the answer is usually unanimous. It's universal comfort food. It's seasoned, crispy, delicious, and found on nearly every continent. Yet, in American culture, fried chicken carries a specific, centuries-old racial stereotype attached to Black people. Most people assume it's just a lazy, ignorant caricature, a random insult thrown into minstrel shows and old media. But the truth is much deeper and significantly darker. The stereotype that Black people have an innate obsession with fried chicken wasn't created because of what Black people ate. It was created because of what Black people built. Specifically, it was a reaction to Black women gaining economic power, buying land, funding churches, and operating thriving culinary businesses in the heart of the American South right after emancipation. When newly freed Black entrepreneurs turned a humble dish into a financial engine, mainstream society didn't just compete with them, they weaponized the food itself. They turned a symbol of financial independence and culinary mastery into a national punchline. Today, we are uncovering the true history of fried chicken, from West African culinary traditions to the waiter carriers of Gordonsville, Virginia, and the calculated propaganda campaign designed to strip them of their legacy. To understand how fried chicken became a weapon of propaganda, we have to go back to the antebellum South. Under the brutal system of chattel slavery, enslaved individuals were prohibited from owning high-value property. They could not own land, and they were legally forbidden from owning large livestock like cattle, horses, or pigs. White plantation owners viewed large animals as significant financial assets. Chickens, however, were treated differently. Plantation owners viewed poultry as cheap, low maintenance, and economically insignificant. Because of this, many enslaved people were permitted to keep small flocks of chickens around their quarters. What plantation owners viewed as worthless, enslaved people turned into a vital lifeline. Chickens were manageable, reproduced quickly, and provided protein. More importantly, poultry and eggs became a shadow currency. Enslaved people used chickens to barter, trade, buy essential supplies, and in some rare cases, save enough money to purchase their freedom. At the same time, enslaved women were the primary cooks in plantation kitchens across the South. They brought with them deep culinary heritage from West Africa, specifically traditions of deep-frying foods in hot palm oil, applying complex spice rubs, and coating meats in batter. They combined these African techniques with local European frying methods, elevating fried chicken into a culinary masterpiece. It wasn't just survival food, it was master-level cooking that defined Southern cuisine as a whole. After the Civil War ended in 1865, millions of newly emancipated Black Americans faced an immediate crisis: how to survive in an economy that refused to hire them or sell them land. Once again, Black women utilized their skills to create an economic revolution. Nowhere was this clearer than in a small junction town, Gordonsville, Virginia. During the late 19th century, Gordonsville was a major railroad hub connecting travelers across the country. Passenger trains had no dining cars at the time, meaning hungry travelers had to rely on platform vendors when the trains stopped. Seeing a massive opportunity, local Black women began cooking fried chicken, wrapped in clean cloths, and selling it directly through the windows of train cars to travelers. They became known as the waiter carriers. Their fried chicken was so famous that travelers literally rerouted their train journeys just to pass through Gordonsville to buy a meal. In fact, Gordonsville officially earned the nickname the fried chicken capital of the world. This wasn't just a small side hustle. These women generated substantial wealth. With the money earned from selling fried chicken, Black women bought their own homes, purchased property, sent their children to school, and financed the construction of local Black churches and civic organizations. For a post-war South built on the premise that Black people could not thrive without white oversight, the success of the waiter carriers was a direct challenge to white supremacy. Black women were building real wealth, acquiring property, and operating free of plantation control, all off the back of an industry they dominated. As Black self-reliance grew during Reconstruction, a massive cultural backlash was launched. If Black economic progress couldn't be stopped by market forces, it would be attacked through culture and media. Enter the era of minstrel shows and media rebranding. To discredit Black success, mainstream media began recasting fried chicken from a symbol of culinary mastery and financial freedom into a symbol of unrefined, animalistic behavior. White performers in blackface minstrel shows began performing skits depicting Black people as obsessed with chicken, portraying them as thieves, stealing poultry from white farms, or eating ravenously without utensils. The propaganda reached a national climax in 1915 with D.W. Griffith's notoriously racist film, The Birth of a Nation. In one infamous scene set in a fictionalized Reconstruction-era state legislature, Black lawmakers are depicted as foolish, rowdy, and uncivilized. To hammer the point home, one actor is shown putting his feet up on a desk and aggressively eating a piece of fried chicken. The message was not subtle. These people are unfit for citizenship, politics, or equality. Later, during the Jim Crow era, Black Americans traveling across the country were banned from white-owned restaurants, hotels, and diners. To travel safely, Black women prepared shoebox lunches boxes filled with fried chicken, boiled eggs, and pound cake that didn't spoil easily during long trips on segregated buses and trains. Yet, even this brilliant survival strategy was mocked by mainstream culture, cementing the caricature even further into postcard art, salt shakers, mechanical banks, and corporate logos. For over a century, a trope meant to demean Black people obscured a history of extraordinary resilience, innovation, and entrepreneurship. The association between Black people and fried chicken wasn't born out of a punchline. It was born out of the ingenuity of enslaved people turning low-value livestock into tradable currency, the financial power of Black women in Gordonsville who bought land and built communities, and the necessity of the shoebox lunch during the dangers of Jim Crow travel. Today, historians, chefs, and communities are actively stripping away the propaganda to honor the true pioneers. Gordonsville, Virginia, still holds an annual fried chicken festival to honor the legacy of the waiter carriers who built the town's economic foundation. The next time you see this trope or hear it referenced, remember where it actually came from. It wasn't a joke, it was an engine of freedom that history tried and failed to erase. And it is the history they never tell. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If this video gave you a new perspective on history, please hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to know this story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications so you never miss an episode where we uncover the real history behind the culture. Drop a comment below. Did you know about the waiter carriers of Gordonsville before today? Let's talk about it in the comments. Until next time, keep seeking the truth behind the history.